Looking to learn a new skill and get in shape at the same time? Look no further than our 6-week beginner boxing course. You'll build your strength and endurance, improve your coordination and reflexes, and gain confidence in your ability to defend yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the time has come for the main event of the evening. One time for the undisputed champions of the community. It's go time!
Three, throw it. That girl, one more time. Boom! There you go. So that's your 3. Now 4, same thing, just opposite head.
Okay. And I'm gonna still come this way.
Yep, there you go. That's a 4. There you go. That's it. So you see the differences now? 2 straights, 2 hooks.
Okay.
One thing defense.
Okay.
We're here, wide open top. Now you go, bam, hey, hit me in the face, bam. You're not trying to do that. That's it.
Okay.
That's it, yep. Now 1, 2. There you go. There you go. I'm talking you good. 1, 2, 3 again. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go again.
Counting.
Okay, totally fast.
Literally.
Yep. Yep. 1. Now 2, 3. 1,
That was a finger.
2, 3. 2, 3. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. You feeling good?
Yes.
You like it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Again. Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta think about when somebody's trying to give you HPRP again. You give them the 1, 2, 1, 2 right there.
Yeah, I would. I really would. There's the punch.
There you go. All right, one more time. First of all, how'd that feel?
Great.
Yeah.
Honestly, it gets the blood pumping.
Yeah.
Yeah, good energy.
You like hitting people?
Yeah, I like hurting people.
I felt it. Thank you. I appreciated that whole thing. That was nice. What is your street fight record?
I don't even have a record.
Oh, so you're undefeated.
I'm undefeated.
She's undefeated again.
Nice.
Yes, never lost.
Never
Never
lost.
lost. I like it.
They're too afraid.
Yeah. So if you had to say who had the best fighting team out of all the human service agencies in town, who got the best fighting?
Counting and Jim.
Yeah, that was a challenge. That was a challenge to everybody, all you suckers at our camp. And come on, Brett Quarles here.
Oh.
Yeah, and he said that he wanted to take you down.
Okay. Bring it, Brett.
Yeah, bring it, Brett. You heard that? She's coming for you, sucker. Okay, true or false? I am the greatest hula skirt wearer ever.
Absolutely. You are.
I just want everybody
Agreed.
to know I'm
Duly noted.
ever at the hula skirt. Ever.
All
right. Last question.
Okay.
If you had to punch one person
Oh.
in the face, dead or alive, in history, who would it be? Well, 2. What's your main one?
2.
Two.
Man, I don't know that I can really.
Everything's an evil character.
Well, for sure. Like real life.
Real life. Be, Hitler.
Well, that for sure would be one.
Yeah,
Right.
Obama.
Like
One of those
totally,
people. Yeah.
totally that.
So pick one. One is that. I really want to punch that person.
Yeah, I'd have to say probably Hitler. He was just abominable.
Yeah.
And even incredibly smart.
Right.
But incredibly cold.
So
Yes.
we come
Taking
in.
you out.
We gonna go into the grave and punch your skeleton in the face. Well, now we're gonna go into the ring and do our interview.
Awesome.
Thank
This
you.
was
It's
great.
the champ, Kari Benz, we out here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another installment of In This Corner with the Champ. It's your boy Manny Gutierrez, the champ, and I've got another amazing guest, a definite champion and beacon of this community, Kari Boss Lady Benz.
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you
I was so
much.
excited. Actually, when I was thinking about the show, and I was like, champions of the community, it's gonna be a great idea. I want to really give people the honors they deserve. Your name was the first one that I thought of because I was like, you need it. I know you don't like it. You don't like to be out here, but I was like, you know what? If anybody has been a beacon and an advocate for this community, it has been you.
Thanks.
What you've done with Minnehaha County Human Services, and what you've done with seeing Safe Home through and developing all these different programs to touch the people in the community that are in the most need, is above and beyond what anybody could probably ask of you. So, first question is, tell us a little bit about you. So, how did you start in the human service field? What was your journey getting from where you started to where you're at now?
Sure. So I appreciate all the accolades. Thank you so much. But I will say it's a good segue into saying that my journey really has been a compilation of meeting a lot of really awesome people. And so I started out as inpatient, doing inpatient work at Avira after graduating from college, and really enjoyed that. I had a passion for working with people, certainly people who oftentimes are marginalized, struggling with mental health. And that somewhat grew into then transferring out into the community and working at Southeastern Behavioral Health. Did outpatient for 12 years, almost 13, and then transitioned over the county. And really, I only transitioned out of my job at Southeastern primarily because I just wanted a bigger stage. I wanted to be able to have a voice for more people. I loved what I did. I loved who I worked with, not only staff, but with the clientele. But I really appreciated the fact that working at county just gave me the opportunity to have a bigger stage to advocate for all people.
So you get to county. What was your original role at the county?
Originally, I started as the assistant director to Hugh Grogan. Yep.
And now?
And now I'm the director.
The big boss lady.
Well, I don't know about that. But I will say, I really did. I had two significant people that were in that role prior to myself. Hugh Grogan, Carol Muller, both of which taught me so much. So I had big shoes to fill. And so it was a little bit scary. So I needed to put on my own shoes, walk my own path and my own journey in the leadership of human services. So it's been a great opportunity.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you encounter as the director of human services that maybe people wouldn't know or they don't understand? What are some of the things that you got to carry with you?
I think probably the biggest challenge that we face as human services is every day is truly a challenge that although we get to help a lot of people and provide a lot of assistance, whether that be financial or supportive services, I think it's the hardships that we hear that I think we all carry home. It's hard to turn it off.
Yeah.
And so once you hear something, you just don't unhear it. Things that you see, things that you witness, those are sometimes hardships. It's just hard to turn it off. So I think that's a piece that the community just, in many aspects of many jobs, that I think is important for the community to know, is that the people that really are the servants of our community, they carry a load. And it's not just occasionally, it's every day.
So what would you say to people who say, man, the county, they never help anybody. They may have gone down, they didn't get the help that maybe they wanted at the time.
Sure.
So how do you, offset that rhetoric of county never helps anybody? What would you tell the person who hasn't come down yet, but they've heard that story?
And I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
I think what my response really is always is that every situation is different. And it's an opportunity for us to help somebody grow. Not always do any of us get what we always think we want or what we think we need. But county does a great job of evaluating, looking at every situation independently, every person individually, and really determining then what is the best outcome for that person? What's the best opportunity? How do we best invest for that person? Is it really financially? Is it really getting them connected to services? We're in it for the long haul. So our win it really happens when they have a win. And so it really is, everybody is different. And so no one should ever not come to county. Yeah.
If you had to think about what's something that maybe keeps you up at night, that something that needs to get done that's not getting done, what would that be? If you think about that?
I think most often for me that what keeps me up the most is just trying to figure out how to unify. We have so many divisions, not only in our city, in our county, in our state, in our world as a whole. I think trying to find that unity. What is that ingredient that we're missing so that we really can unify? Because when we work as a team, we're just so much more effective.
So this is Champ's Corner, right? It's big old shiny belt right here.
Love it.
Champ.
Not for long.
Oh,
We're putting on gloves.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That was a threat. Zeus, you get that? Fact check if she can see that through. I don't. All right.
Maybe.
So you're a dreamer. You said you want unity. That's the thing that you're looking for. As a champion, what are some attributes when you think of a champion? What are some of the attributes you think of when you think about the characteristics of what makes a champion?
I think what makes a champion is unwavering dedication and commitment, having the mindset, the positive mindset, and the attitude of I never quit. I think that probably throughout all of my career, that's really been a driving force for me. I just don't quit. And so I think as a champion, it's really being a leader and showing leadership through actions.
Yeah.
We can all do a talk and say
Sure.
a lot of things, right? But I think that when you actually do the walk, that makes the difference. And so that makes the champion. You actually do the work. You not only talk it, but you work it and you talk and you walk it. Yeah.
See, I always love that question because every time we've asked that question, we get really good answers, and they always end up describing themselves. And that's you when you say those things. And I think about Kari Benz. That's what I think about. You don't quit. You have this mentality that you can get it done. I've experienced that firsthand. Like, and it's some history. I worked, for her for almost 17 with her, right? For almost 17 years. So together we had 15 out of those 17, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were, yeah. So that was a blast. Some of the things that you do well there, again, through experiences, is you have an open door system, like a real one, though.
Yep, a real.
Right. Some people say it, right? And that goes back to your attribute of champ, right? Some people talk it, they don't walk it. What are the benefits to having that open door system?
I don't think that any agency, company, corporation, business at all, regardless of what division you work in, I don't think you can actually have a successful anything if you don't have an open door. I'm not a believer of titles. I don't think titles tell you who anybody is. I don't think it says how the person does the job. I think by having that open door, it just promotes that two-way communication.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do my job best if I don't hear you, if I don't hear the person down the hall, if I don't hear the person in the community. So if I don't have that open door, then it's kind of like having a closed mind. So for me, I spend a lot of my time growing from everybody that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have all the answers. And so it's fabulous working as a team. I don't have to do it by myself.
Right. Yeah. Open door, open mind. I like that. That's really cool. So some of the things that you've always been an advocate for and pushing for is an environment in which people can be themselves.
Yes.
And improve growth or encourage growth in people. What are some of the things that you have seen that worked to encourage that, and what doesn't work?
Uh, Typically, I think the best avenue and approach is to always encourage people to really be who they are. I think if when you try to change people and make them something that they're not, that's when it's just so ineffective. So it really is getting to the core of each person and trying to figure out what is that fire, what makes that passion happen. And so for me, it's really trying to devise plans and develop strategies that involve everybody, gives them an opportunity to be themselves. And I think in order for anybody to be successful, the best you can be is you. And so if you best invest in yourself by getting training, finding that passion, work is no longer work. Work is fun. Work is something that I have an opportunity to do, not something that I have to go do every day.
Has there been some strategies that you've seen or maybe have tried that didn't work, that didn't hit the target? You know, to get people to be more open.
Yeah, I think even over the course of my career, whether it be myself or someone else that was in the leadership role, I think it's when people are just told there isn't a focus on the whole person.
Right.
Maybe that's really the strategies I think in the past have always been, well, we're just going to do a blanket training for everybody, and it should be a one size fits all, right? And that's just not how people are. We're not a one size fit all. It's just like when we serve people, we don't do the same thing with everybody each and every time, right? We do it individually. So I think the things that don't work is when people are forced to do things they don't want to do. They're not given opportunity for growth. And then they're also not helped to have fun in their career, right? I mean, I think that it's so easy to get so engrossed with our careers and all the things that we have to do that we just lose sight of what about the fun part?
Yes.
Like, shouldn't work be fun? Shouldn't we go to work to have fun, to give an opportunity to somebody? Those are fun things. So I think it's all in keeping in perspective too.
Fun like coconut bras.
Yeah, like that.
And hula
Like
skirts. Yeah, that's fine.
Like that.
Let's talk a little bit about that. We've shared some funny moments.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how your son,
Yeah.
Nick, what does he remember about?
Uh-huh. So as I recall, I believe it was for United Way fundraiser. And we were all trying to figure out, what are we going to wear? What are we going to do? How's it going to work? And Manny decided to bring in a coconut bra and a lovely little hula skirt.
Yeah,
a grass skirt.
The chin.
And so my son came to visit that day. And so to this day, now mind you, my son is now 30. He still, when I talk about Manny, will say to me, oh, yeah, coconut guy.
That's right.
And so it's always a memorable moment. So if you haven't met Manny, you really got to meet Manny.
Yeah, right. And so I remember we did Strength Finders and we did all those things. And it's funny because we did it again here at Think 3D.
Oh, good.
And it showed up that I'm a woo person again. I'm the yellow, right? The woo. And why do you think it's important for a leader to know the strengths of their team?
Oh, gosh. That honestly is the building block of every day. Because when you know their strengths, you build upon those.
Yep.
It's so easy, I think, for all of us to get deterred by the negatives. We hear negatives, we see negatives. And so when we look at the positives of a person, and those are those strengths, they really are their best attributes. And so why would we not want to build on those? Giving that person an opportunity to be their best self, to really invest in who they are. And I think the strengths, all of us feel good when somebody walks up to us and say, hey, nice work. That was excellent. Whereas instead of walking up to them and saying, well, you're really not the best public speaker, but.
Right.
And so I think a lot of it is just being able to say, you know what, if we can take those strengths, that person becomes a teacher for the next person and for the next person. So it really becomes just really more of a contagion than what it does anything else. It builds that person up, but I also think it's that contagion where it just really promotes positivity and mindset as a whole.
So here at Think 3D, we believe that nothing of significance happens without intention. That's one of our core beliefs. How do you see that playing out? How did that play out, being intentional in your life, whether it be with family, professionally? How do you see that playing out?
I think if you don't have somewhat of a plan, and I'll say, I've been really fortunate. I think sometimes when I didn't have a plan, that's when things really did come together. And I fortunately had incredibly mentors in my life, excuse me, that helped me to really define what I needed to do in my life. I think probably my core is my family for sure. And then I think as I got into my career, I just really realized that I really needed to do stuff that made me happy. And so when I do things with intention, I think my ingredients to that are really, I stay true to who I am. I always have integrity in everything that I do. As you well know, I speak my mind. I think the community probably knows that I do that pretty freely. Pretty freely. And I always think that's so important that for me, in order to have that intention, I need to be able to facilitate hope, and really promote positivity and unity, because I think all of those are ingredients that just make us all better and have strength. So by having intention, my intention is always to have the highlights and focus on those. We all know there's going to be challenge, but I think when you do things with intention, you should always invest you as a person. And really all the ingredients that define the champion, right? All those ingredients are things that make intention best.
And again, all these things you're speaking about, it's very familiar to me. It may be new to other people, right? But it's very familiar to me. But what is something that people who are familiar with you, but they may not know about you?
Gosh, I'd love to say that people don't know something about me. I am a pretty open book. I think probably, if anything, I know that I can talk the ear off of anyone and I can talk about anything for days. But I think probably the piece that people maybe don't realize is that I really am a very intimate listener. I'm somebody who my best part of getting wisdom from people is really listening to the core of what they have to say. And I think sometimes I do talk a lot. I come by it honestly.
I'm the same way.
However,
I have a similar issue.
However, I often find that the best knowledge comes from really listening to what somebody's really truly saying at their core. And sometimes I think what people say and what they really mean are two different things. So I really do try to listen to what that real true meaning is of what they're trying to say. And so even though it doesn't seem like it, I am a great listener.
That's way better than the information that Zeus gave me. He said you wrestled the bear once. And so apparently the bear wrestling was not a fact, Zeus. Kari Benz. Kari.
Yes.
So what would you say? Okay, so now you have walked the path, the journey of being really through almost every facet of human service work. Right?
Yep.
So what would you tell somebody who is maybe fresh out of college and they majored in human services or social work, and what would you tell them? What advice would you give them stepping into this role?
I think coming into human services, I think the biggest part would be is try things that make you uncomfortable. When we have interns and you've helped train many, my plan is always to do an interview, and I always ask them, so what is it that you want out of the training, and where do you feel comfortable? What do you want to spend time? And so ironically enough, little do they know, I do the exact opposite.
Right.
And I do place them in positions where they aren't as comfortable. I think that in order for you to best really appreciate what human services does, what it is is that you really learn about all the facets and not just spend time where you feel comfortable. I've learned the most in situations where I feel the most uncomfortable. And so I think it's always just spreading your wings, trying a variety of things. There's an array of ways to help people, whether that be through direct service, whether that be behind the scenes. It's really an effort that you want to put in, that you want to invest in people, whether it be something that's seen and heard, or whether it's something behind the scenes in a supportive role. But I think first and foremost, my biggest statement would be is do what makes you happy. You really need to find what feeds that passion.
Yeah.
Because I think in order to really survive, and I can say survive, I've been doing it 30 plus years now in social services and human services. And I think that one of the biggest pieces to that is really being able to be secure in who you are, being secure in your belief, being secure in the appreciation and the value of people. I think that a lot of times it's very easy to get lost in it's just the services piece. It's a human piece.
Yeah.
And so being human, having that passion, feeding that passion, and then never lose sight of who you are. Be true to yourself, be who you are, and invest in you, because that's how you best help everybody else.
Getting through some of the, excuse me, Zeus is gonna kill me as many times I'm sorry. I know I cleared my throat a lot. Work with me. You guys face a lot of challenges, and you professionally, personally have dealt with a lot of challenges in life. Right?
Yep.
Things that have pushed the limits of your heart. How do you get through those things? What are some of the things you've held on to or fell back on to get you through those times?
I think honestly, it's really team. Our team is a close-knit team. I think that I count on so many people in my life that have either been mentors, that have been coworkers, colleagues. I think first and foremost, I rely on them as that source of support. And then I think for me, it's just really maintaining that perspective. I always stay focused on my end goal. And so the road might be really winding, it might be pretty bumpy. But I think ultimately for me, it's keeping my eye on that end goal and what I need to do, and kind of just having that drive, that commitment that I want to succeed. I want to be successful because I want others to be successful. So if there's a way that I can take that path and I can level the field a little bit and make it a little bit easier of a journey for the next person, I'm all in.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, excuse me, moving forward now, what's the next thing?
Whew, that's a loaded question. So I have less time to work left than what I've worked. And so I need to be incredibly strategic in my plan. I really feel like there's about 4 projects that I really want to see come to fruition before I would hang my hat. So I think for me, it's really just staying steadfast. One of the biggest goals that I would have is trying to find a way to correct some of the systemic issues that we have in our community. I'd really like to unify our community, our service providers, and really come together as a community that all people matter, right? All goals matter. And so it's really just really promoting that support for one another. So I've got about 4 projects that if I can get done, I got about 12 years left.
Projects.
Yeah.
Do we get a sneak peek? What are the projects? No.
Dang it! No.
Get an exclusive out of this.
Maybe when I start, when I really get them going, then then it'll be an exclusive for you.
I was trying to pull on my
4
connections.
projects.
I thought I was connected. No longer. I won't connect. All right. Well, what'd you think of that? What'd you think of hitting these mitts and getting your 1-2s together?
Well, I can safely say I've never done it. However, I think it's a great form of exercise, for one. Number 2, if I ever have to hit somebody, I now know where I get it from.
That's
right.
right.
I got the skill.
That's right.
So it might even be something that I would pursue later to try even a little bit more.
I like it. At least train. I
Yeah.
don't want you to jump in the ring.
No,
Not
happening.
we're not there
Not
anymore. We're not there anymore.
No,
I like
past
to
that.
watch.
Yeah,
A little practice.
little practice.
I'm not doing the whole thing. All right. That was great. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Do the thing. Like,
Do the likes.
comment, subscribe. The whole thing that you do in the videos, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of In This Corner with the Champ. It's Manny Gutierrez, the champ. It's the champ.